Hello guys, Noel Cardona here. Today I want to talk about the 4 ways you can sabotage yourself as you go through everything you need to work towards achieving success. I want to talk about these 4 ways as stages that will happen as you grow more and more towards your goals. So the very first stage is when you start in your journey. And the very first way you sabotage yourself is that you consciously or unconsciously find ways or find reasons not to. What I mean by that is you find reasons not to do things. For example, you say to yourself that it's too difficult, whatever you're trying to do or that you will try to do, it's too difficult. You have no experience, you have no money, or the economy is too difficult at the moment. And what ends up happening is that you use that as an excuse not to go ahead. And finding no reasons to, and actually this is the core message of this lesson, finding no reasons to is a lot easier than putting the energy and the work that is necessary to make progress towards your goals. And that's very important for you to be aware of in terms of how you sabotage yourself. The very stage of that, as I said, is you start finding reasons not to do something, finding reasons not to go to the gym, for example, not to go out there running or not to call people. Some of the silliest excuses is if you're going to do exercise, is the weather, is too cold, is too hot, or the phone is not working, or there's no good signal. So you find any little obstacle and you augment it, you make it bigger for you to have a valid excuse not to go ahead. And this, my friend, is a very big trap for your success. Stage number 2, once you've managed to get rid of this and control the way you give excuses to yourself, then a second stage comes. And that stage is that you convince yourself you are not worthy of that goal. In my last video, I talk about this in particular at length, and the way you convince yourself that you're not worthy about that goal is through stories you tell yourself, stories which are fed from your past, especially if you had somebody with authority, like a parent, like a friend, like a teacher, telling you you were not able to do anything in life, or you were not able to run, you were not able to read properly, or you would never do maths, you would never be an entrepreneur, you would never be somebody you wanted to be. So you find these nasty people in your life who will convince you you are not worth it. And after many times of repeating that in your head, you get convinced of that. And guess what? For your future goals, it basically becomes a reality for you. And every time you're going to achieve a significant goal, or you set a significant goal, then you tell that story yourself again, and then you sabotage yourself, telling yourself you're not worth it, and then the same result as in stage 1, you don't go ahead. This is one of the worst possible ways of sabotaging yourself, because as I've said in my books, as I said in my videos, in my blogs, in my newsletter, you are the best raw material that you will ever have. And in many times, in many occasions, the only raw material that you have. And if you convince yourself that that raw material is not worth it, then you won't have anything to work with. That's the second stage, my friend, and you need to be aware of that and avoid that second trap. Now, the third one, once you control the excuses you give to yourself in terms of the reasons not to go ahead, and then you convince yourself that you're worth it, then there is another obstacle on your way. And then you create more ideas. You know, all this is to do with the fact that the loser inside you, the loser you have inside you, as I talk about in my book, The Mental Breakfast, wants to stay in its comfort zone. It's not you, it's the loser you have inside, which you shouldn't listen to. So the third stage, and after you've gone through these two obstacles, is that you create more ideas. What I mean by that is that once you get to a level of technical proficiency, and then you're good doing that, you will basically be working in loops. For example, if you write books, but you're not good at marketing them, marketing those books, what you will do is basically keep writing books, and you will keep writing books. Or if you create videos, but you're not very good at marketing your ideas, you keep creating ideas to create videos, and then you stay there. You stay there, and what happens is you hide before your technical comfort zone. You hide behind the doer that you have inside, and not the marketer. And you do that just not to go ahead. Again, the same trap. And that's amazing, because even though creating new ideas and taking them to a finished state is very difficult and will give you satisfaction, you're still sabotaging yourself, because you're going in circles, and it gets to a point where you have so many ideas on the shelf that you never go ahead and make any money out of it. And that, my friend, is hiding behind your own ideas. That's the third trap that you need to be aware of. In this same category, when you create ideas and you work most of the time alone, that's another symptom of the fact that you are stuck in this third stage of sabotage, where you create those ideas, you work alone, and those ideas stay behind. They never see the other side. They never go out to the world, and you just keep creating more ideas. That's important, because even though you think you're making progress here, you're actually going in circles. Now, let's say you've been analyzing yourself. You've been working on your personal growth, and you've managed to find the reasons not to convince you are worth it of your goal, that you create ideas and you take them to the market and you start making money out of it, and you make the money, enough money to feel comfortable and to feel that you achieved your goal. A third stage comes, which is that you don't have an exit strategy. And what I mean by that is that trap where you just keep chasing yourself. You don't have a number, what I call, or my mentors call, a good enough number. There is nothing worse than actually going through life working and working and working and never having a finish line inside. What I mean by that is, if you're doing something, even a creative job, which is giving you satisfaction and is something you love, even if you're doing that, at some point you will get tired. And if you don't have an exit strategy where you just go for the next goal, which will give you satisfaction without waiting for this goal to get you tired, to get you drained, if you don't have an exit strategy, then you're going to hit what is known as a glass ceiling. You will feel you're there, but you will feel that you will never be able to go through that glass ceiling. So here, I want to remind you, or if you don't know, I want to let you know the two reasons for a goal. Reason number one is to keep pushing until you get that number, the number that you want to achieve. And the second reason for a goal is to know where to stop pushing. If you hit a goal and you don't have a clear number, then and you keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, at some point you might get burned out because you don't have an exit strategy. I'm talking here about all type of goals, financial goals, personal goals, weight loss goals, anything you can think of. This kind of trap applies, and this on the long term can give you a burnout if you don't have an exit strategy as well. In my book, The Intentional Winner, I always mention that intentional winners work backwards. So it's important for you to set a goal, to have an exit strategy, so when you are successful, that doesn't catch up with you. And by surprise, you find out that you are tired of what you are doing and you didn't exit on time. So those are the 4 different strategies, the 4 different ways in which you sabotage yourself, and they work in the same way, in the same direction as you grow yourself. You find reasons not to do things, you convince yourself you're not worth it just to stay in your comfort zone, you create more ideas because you're good at doing that, and somehow you don't want to progress in what you're doing, and you just get the satisfaction of doing something well, but you don't try anything new. And then when you've gone through all these obstacles, you don't have an exit strategy. You don't stop pushing because you don't have clarity of what a good enough number is for you. If, for example, what you're trying to achieve is financial freedom, what is that number that you're looking for? What is that passive income ratio to your expenses that you're looking for that will give you that freedom or that tranquility that you're looking for, financially speaking? That's what I'm talking about. I hope I've given you some value today. You've learned today some very new things that you apply. If you want, study this video, just not watch it again and again until you get aware and you understand these concepts. Remember that understanding is not the same as knowing. When you understand something, you do it automatically, you include it automatically in your behavior. Thank you very much for your time. This is Noel Cardona. Go to noelcardona.com for more tools, for my books, for more videos, and I hope I see you in my world soon. Bye for now.